What's up? Black men should never give up on themselves. Now, before I get into the video, I do have a school community that I made for us black men to come together to get to know each other, share our experiences, really just help each other elevate and be a community and really just rise as men. And if you're interested in that, the link for that will be in the comments of this video, the description of this video. And if you click on my channel in the bio section, you'll see the link for it right there. So click on that, check that out. Back to the video. Now, black men should never give up on themselves. Understand that it's very it's a thing that is required for you to be successful as an individual and as a community. And understand that nobody is coming to save you, especially as a black man. Especially as a black man, nobody is coming to save you in this world. And a lot of the things, or really everything we're gonna have to do in life, everything we're gonna have to get in life, we're gonna have to earn it. It's a lot of men who don't want to earn it. It's a lot of black men who don't want to earn it. They want to cheat their way to the top, but that goes that goes against us. That's stereotyping. That's the thing that people always look at us for, like, okay, we're not gonna work hard. We're dumb. We're slow. We're not gonna do it right. You know, and I think that it's very important, even if nobody is with you, even if everybody is against you, you have to have yourself. And the way you really build self belief and not giving up on yourself is being determined on your goals, being determined on who you want to become, even when nobody believes in you. A lot of times, your environment will tell you what you want to do and what you want to be and who you want to become isn't realistic. It can't happen, right? And just think about, if you do give up, what's gonna happen? You're just gonna be just like everybody else. You're really, hurting yourself so much when you give up on what you want to do in life. And it's many people will tell you that, okay, that's just a childish dream, or that's just something that's not realistic and you can't attain that, and that can't happen. And I think that this is the molding, this is how we get conditioned to think that we can't do what we want to do in life, right? And I remember when I was young and I used to think life was about having a certain job or having a certain career, when it's more about being happy. It's more about helping other people be happy. And that should be something that should be the foundation of how you're going to live your life. Because when you're a child, it's like you instinctively know, okay, I want to live my life and be happy. We knew that as kids, but as we got older, our environment will tell us and our parents will tell us, you know what, no, you got to get a job, you got to do this, you can't do that because that ain't realistic, and so you got to do this, and that's what's going to get you results because that's what everybody doing, and that's the way to go. No, I think that that's another thing about black men that we have to understand, is that a lot of us will just do it because it's cool. We'll do it because our environment will tell us that's what we're doing. And it requires us to think and be creative and get outside the box of our environment, get outside the box of what people tell us. One of the things that I think is very important for you to have belief and to not give up on yourself and to not be affected by your environment and how you were raised is get away from how your parents did things. One of the important things that I know I have to get control over is gaining control over my sexual energy and gaining control over my eating habits. Because growing up, some things was more due to my environment, like masturbation and watching porn, and I just fell upon that. Nobody ever told me to never, nobody ever taught me the dangers of falling into that. And then my eating habits was more of how I was raised, because my parents didn't have good eating habits, so I just naturally started eating what they were eating, and they never taught me good eating habits and eating the right things, and I was never raised up that way, so I had to get away from that. And the only reason I'm saying all of this is because your environment will get you to give up as soon as you express who you truly are and who you truly want to be. Your environment will tell you that ain't real. Have a plan B. Do it this way because that's more realistic. Like, your environment will try to change you, and you can't be a person where you're just devoured by your environment. I think it's so many black men were devoured by how we were raised and our environment. And too many black men will have a victim mentality and say, "Well, I grew up this way, and this the only way I can be." No, everybody got a choice. Don't believe for 1 second when somebody be like, "Oh, I was just raised like that, so I can't do anything and I can't change and I don't know." I guarantee you, it's people who've had less than me growing up, and they became successful, right? And the thing is, we have to go outside of what we see. We have to believe in ourselves and say, what do we want to do? And that is the true marker of a man being a man. He's creating his own life. He's designing his own life. When a man has a default way of thinking and he doesn't think for himself, yeah, he'll get a life that the environment will provide for him. And that's the thing that I truly want to get away from. I don't want to have the mentality of how the environment produced me to be and how I was raised to be. And your parents may have good intentions. The people or how you were raised, you know, can just play an effect, but you don't have to let it dictate your life. And for so many people, for so many black men, our environment dictates our life. It's very few men that you can find in real life, black men that you can find in real life who grew up in bad conditions and they got out of that. They got out of that mentality. They got out of that way of life. A lot of them, most of the time, once they were raised in a bad way, they raised in poverty. They raised um with parents who don't care about them. They stay in the streets. They stay in that way. They stay that way for the whole life. And it's really who you choose to become. It's really who you choose to become. This is what it's all about as a man. And for you to give up on yourself is for you to say, I'm gonna let somebody else think for me. I'm gonna let somebody else create for me because I can't go out and do what I want to do. Life, we only got one life. And we have to understand that we have to use our time on earth to do what we want to do. And when you give up on yourself, you're just saying, I don't care anymore. And I'm going to just do whatever I got to do to survive. And that's it. And then I'm going to die one day. You know, life is way more interesting if you make it more interesting. And you make it more interesting by leaning into more of who you are, regardless of how people view you. Because that's the thing. We put a trap on ourselves. We put ourselves in a box when we let the perception of other people get to us. And then we have to change how we move and how we carry ourselves based off of pleasing other people. And that's really heavy in the black community. And I'm just saying, with black men, we can't be in a place where we're gonna give up on ourselves, because the more we give up on ourselves, the more we can't do what we need to do for our community. We can't step into that leadership and that masculine role and create and design and defend and protect. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.